Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video that not a single soul asked for. Not a single person asked me to do a perfume haul. But here we are. I'm going to talk about some of the perfumes that I've added to my collection as of late. None of these are full sizes. And I want to let you know like how I do when I try to find a new favorite perfume. What I have discovered. I'm going to let you know about some hits. I'm going to let you know about some misses. And we're just going to go through some of my newly discovered perfumes in my life. If you have not been here before, if this is your first video here, hello, my name is Angie. I am such a lover of beauty makeup and I really love perfume. Perfume is my first love. It's my biggest love, and even though my channel is mainly about makeup and like being creative with makeup, I also really love perfume. So even though no one is asking me for perfume content, I just really love talking about perfume. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. And of course, if you want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe because I do try to upload at least 5 videos a week. So these perfumes are not perfumes that I've just like willy-nilly went out and bought. These are things that I have bought over a bigger span of time. So I haven't like bought all of these in the last like week or something. I think that this is like 2-3 months of me like buying perfumes, trying to find a new favorite. So I'm gonna go through a couple of these. I bought 2 discovery sets and I bought a couple of one-offs, and I also have repurchased the perfume that actually went through, a favorite of mine, so I thought we'd talk about that. And I also bought some perfume from an indie brand that I really didn't like. So let's actually talk about that. I don't really want to be bashing indie brands on my channel. If you like watch my channel, if you know about like my history with like makeup brands and stuff like that, I really do love discovering new things and discovering new interesting smaller brands. But when it comes to perfume, I really have not had the best luck with that. And I actually tried this out out of a recommendation from you. I think this is Andromeda's Curse. I think that's how these are called. And I bought 2 of these roller balls. I bought the Tower and I bought, I don't even know what these are called. The Tower and Tempestari. I'm pretty sure that both of these are labeled as more like aquatic perfumes. Perfumes are meant to have a, I don't exactly, I know at least one of them, but I know I didn't like either of them, but they're meant to be smelling a little bit like water, a little bit like rain, like moist, like ozone, like dew, because that's what I actually like perfumes that smell a little bit like water or that smell a little bit like salt water. So this one, and here's the thing, and here's what I don't really love about the indie perfumes that I have tried. I have noticed that I love things to smell like water, or even, okay, this one is meant to smell like rain. Here's the perfume that I actually repurchased. This is Demeter's Thunderstorm. Obviously also meant to smell like rain. Can we like get this off? The difference between these two is that they both smell like moisture, like rain, like a little bit like, you know, when you get rain on dirt, when you get rain on grass. But this one smells like a fresh summer's day. You have just gotten some rain. The dirt and the grass is still a little bit moist. The sun is coming through and it smells like a new fresh beginning. This smells like a new fresh beginning. This smells like you got moisture in your basement and you kind of need to call a professional. And that's how I felt about some of these indie perfumes, is that they smell just, yeah, they smell like moisture. They smell like water, but more like a damp cellar than like a fresh summer day. And I'm more into the fresh summer day. So for me, this was a miss. And I realized when it comes to perfumes, I've always said like, oh, I don't like the detergent smellings. I don't like it, like my perfumes to smell like soap. But if it's something that I've realized throughout my journey of trying even more perfumes this last like maybe 2 years, is that I like a fresh perfume, but I don't want it to be too sweet. And I don't want it to be floral. I don't really like floral perfumes. And I also don't want it to be like, you know, fresh linen or soap or anything like that. I want it to smell like salt water or fresh air or like a rainy day or like fruits, fresh fruits, or even fresh like citrusy. But I don't want it to be, I want it to be like unisex. but I don't want the moisture or the rain notes to smell like a damp cellar, and that's how I felt like some of these indie scents have been. And I mean that in the most like respectful, this isn't really for me, because I mean I did get some recommendations to try this brand, so obviously other people out there are trying it, but I realized that it's not really what I'm looking for. So let's actually go in and talk about this one then, the Demeter Thunderstorm, because this is the scent that I repurchased. It's one of my favorite scents ever. It is just immaculate. By the way, if you're interested in this makeup look, I will leave in the description box what I have on my face right now, and I did film it. So if you want to see a tutorial or like how I created this look, it should already be live on my channel, and I will leave a link to that down below. When it comes to this Demeter Thunderstorm, this one smells like rain on a summer's day, and you can smell a little bit of the metal in the earth becoming a little bit wet from the rain, and it also smells like fresh, newly watered, like just plants. This is smelling like wet greens without being florally, because I don't want it to be too florally, but I've described this before. It just smells like being at my grandparents'. It is a summer's day in Sweden, the rain comes and immediately the rain disappears, because rain comes and goes really quickly in Sweden, and the sun comes out, and just the rays of sun hitting the grass and the dirt with the rain, and it just smells fresh, like a new start. It just really smells like a renewing summer's rain, and I cannot recommend this one enough. I even got it in, let me see if I can get it out, in a roll-on perfume oil that you can have like in your purse. Yeah, it's just a really nice scent. I really like it. This is a cologne, so it doesn't last for forever, but I still think that it's one of those very comforting scents for me. It's just a comforting scent. And when I bought that, I actually bought something else that had been out of stock that I bought now, that I repurchased, because I did repurchase this Thunderstorm, and that is Demeter's Wet Garden. And there is a similarity between this one and the Thunderstorm. This one is a little bit more metallic, a little bit more on the sharp, I don't want to say masculine, but like a little bit more unisex. This one is Wet Garden. It's like if you're watering your garden, but it also has the more florally undertones. But it's very green. There's a little bit of the wet dirt in here as well, in the best way possible. It's like a feminine version of this one, I would say, if I were to describe it. It smells very nice, a little bit more florally, and I can get away with this kind of a floral because it still has that rain or like wet ozone note at the same time as it has the florals together with the wet greens, and I really like that. Another perfume that I bought that I wasn't like head over heels for, I'm gonna see if I can pull out the notes. And this is the Kayali by Huda Beauty Lovefest Burning Cherry. And this one, the top notes of this one is burning cherry, and I definitely smell that immediately when I smell it. But what this one also has praline as an undernote, and I usually do not do perfumes that are that like sweet, like fudge, chocolate, caramel, praline. Those are not my kind of scents. I think they're called gourmand scents. I love them on others, not on me. And this one has a lot of that like praline in it. And also one of the notes in this one is, when I looked at this, it has cherry, raspberry, bergamot at the top, and that's what I thought, like that's all I love, like a fruity, because I love a fruity unisex scent. Something that's very fruity and like noticeably fruity, but like not too sweet. But this is not a unisex scent. I mean, of course, men can still use it. I think that all scents is for everyone. I'm just like how they are categorized. Because in the middle notes of this one, you have praline, heliotrope, damask rose, and jasmine sambac. And yeah, there's some warmth with some other things in the bottom, but what really comes through when this settles down after a couple of minutes is that it's very florally, and that's not what I go for. I was hoping that the cherry would stay longer, but at the end of the day, it's more of a warm florally one for me, and that's why on me, this is not my perfect scent. I like something that's even more fruity without the floraliness and without the praline and without all that sweetness. This perfume I bought actually out of a recommendation from my friend Samantha March. I smelled this on her and she got this recommendation, I think, from Michelle Wong, and this opened the door for being the only vanilla perfume in my collection that I love. Which is a nice title to have, and this is Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. I don't know if you say Tobacco Vanille or if it's Tobacco Vanille, because I'm not 100% sure what language and how you're pronouncing it. But let me pull out the notes of this one, because this made me realize that tobacco, I'm a fan. There are a few notes that I just really, really love, and when I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, I could definitely be about that. And I will say one of them is like when I see ozone or water. I also love suede, I love bergamot, I love cardamom, I love saffron, and now I will say that I think that I am gonna be forever a big tobacco fan, because this one just smells very sexy, and this is definitely a unisex scent. When I put this one under like the nose of my husband when we were at Sephora, because I bought this when he was with me, I was like, what do you think of this one? And he's like, yeah, I could wear that. I'm like, it's for me, dum-dum. But honestly, it's a really good unisex scent, and I think that like no matter if your attributes are very feminine or very masculine, or regardless of what your pronouns are, I feel like nobody would question this perfume on anyone. It's very heavy though, and it's definitely more of a nighttime perfume, so keep that in mind if you wanted to buy this. But the top notes are tobacco leaf and spicy notes, and then you have vanilla, cacao, tonka bean, tobacco blossom, and in the base notes you have dried fruits, which is usually not something I like, and I will say I don't myself like see that at all in this one. And woody notes. It's just a very warm, spicy, tobacco leaning scent, and I can definitely see myself looking for more tobacco scents in the future. If you have a scent with a tobacco note that you love, please let me know. Please let me know, because I would like to sniff more. I would like to find more. Then I actually got this one. I got a scent, like a sample out of this one. This is the Ellis Brooklyn Epres, and I still have it in the box because I thought I'd show you the box. This is what it looks like. And I got a sample of this one, and immediately when I smelled it, I was like, absolutely not. Because that's when I was like, no, 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 absolutely not. And then I sniffed it again, and I was like, you know what, I'll try it. So I sprayed it, and I was like, it's very juniper berry. This is before me looking at the notes. And I was like, no, this isn't for me. This isn't the kind of thing that I would like. But I used the entire sample off. And I realized that I'm actually obsessed. And the reason why I was a little bit apprehensive at first is because this is so incredibly different from any of the other scents that I have bought or acquired myself before. So I got this as a sample. I made an Ulta or Sephora order or something else. Honestly, I don't know. And I was so obsessed with the sample that I used it up. So I decided, you know what? I think I'm obsessed. I think I'm obsessed, so I bought it, and not until I actually bought it did I look at the actual notes. So let me tell you the notes, because yeah, a couple of the things that I really love is in this one, and now that I've read the notes, I'm not surprised how much I love it. But yeah, the top note is juniper berries, and that's immediately when I smelled it, I was like, yeah, juniper berries, and I was like, this isn't for me. This just feels like me and my dad are in the woods smoking fish, and I love that memory, but I don't need it on me. But then it is two of the notes that I really love, saffron and cardamom, and then it's bourbon, whiskey, wood, suede. Again, I love suede. Violet, which is something that I really love in the right composition, and praline. But I don't sense a lot of praline in this. So I think the praline is just there to give a little sweetness to the otherwise kind of spicy and woody things. And then you have cedar, sandalwood, vanilla, musk, and patchouli in the base notes. It's just a very smart and sophisticated scent that is initially very juniper berry, but then just becomes something that you become obsessed with. I love it. I have bought 2 of these fragrance discovery sets. On this one I bought on your recommendation, and the other one that I'm going to show you in a bit I bought because it was like a new brand that came into Sephora. So this is Goldfield and Banks, and I'm not 100% sure where I got this one, but I will link all the things that I'm talking about down below in case you want to take a closer look at them, or in case you want to like see the notes and everything. So I've tried quite a few of these scents, and you see some of them I've used more than others. You can clearly see that I have 2 favorites here in the middle. So most of these I feel are a little too heavy and just being a little stuck in the basement kind of a scent, you know, a little too much for me. I like a unisex scent, but I don't like them to be too heavy. But I will say the one that you recommended to me was the one that is called Pacific Rock Moss, because you said if you love greens, if you love water, you're gonna love this scent. And this one is described as an aromatic citrus herbal mossy scent, and I definitely do agree with that one. It is a little bit like a moist forest. Damp forest, but it's nice. I really like it. This is Italian lemon, sage moss, geranium, and Virginia cedar, and it definitely is a very fresh, almost like a daytime men's cologne. Like, it's not super heavy, it's not something that's gonna give you a headache, at least not me, but it is very on the fresh but still a little bit on the masculine side. I feel like all of the ones from this brand that are labeled as unisex, even though, like I said, I wear men's cologne. Like, I don't give 2 flying fluffs about what I'm supposed to wear or not. I'm just saying how I would describe these. I think they're leaning more on the masculine side, but I really do like this one. I think it is a really nice scent, but I'm not so head over heels that I would buy a full size of it. My husband really liked the one that's called Bohemian Lime, and I just felt like this was a little heavy. And this one has like lime as the top note, but it also has I think it's called vetiver. I'm not 100% sure if you pronounce it like that. And I think that's the part that gives it a little bit of the heaviness for me. It's just a little bit too much for me. It just tips it over for being just a tad too much. But I know that when I wore this, he was like, what is that perfume? I really like it. But for me, this again wasn't my favorite. My absolute favorite was actually the one that's called Sunset Hour. You can see I've used half of this. And this is a unisex fruity perfume, and I am in love. This is the one, when I use it up, I'll buy a full-size one, because it is wonderful. And if you're like me and you also like unisex fruity perfumes, like the Hermes Rhubarb perfume, this could be for you. This is described as a woody fruity perfume, and it is desert peach, raspberry, definitely a lot of raspberry, but in a fresh way, in a fresh raspberry. And very nice. Cashmere wood, sandalwood, mandarin orange, pink pepper, jasmine sambac, benzoin, and ginger. And it's definitely the pink pepper and the ginger that is bringing it to a fresh and energetic and like unisex territory instead of being super sweet. Because the raspberry, of course, is a very sweet one, but together with the mandarin and the pink pepper and the ginger, it just really lands in something that smells like a sophisticated unisex fruit bowl. But really, I like this one, the Sunset Hour. This is that perfect summertime, tropical, bringing on my vacation, that perfume to wear when you are having time off or when you're going on a holiday, to just encapsulate all of your memories, and every time you smell this, you're gonna be like, oh, it's that vacation, or it's like, oh, summertime. Definitely this perfume, yeah. So this one, the Sunset Hour, this is the one, when I use it up, I'm gonna buy a full-size one. I think these are very expensive, but all of the ones I've tried, that's my favorite. I will also give a special little shout out to Blue Cypress. I thought that this one smells straight up like a men's cologne. This one, straight up like a men's cologne, but a very sexy men's cologne. My husband didn't love this scent, but I thought it was really good. So if you're looking for a really nice sophisticated men's cologne, I would check out the Blue Cypress one, because I thought that one was really nice. Now let's go into the brand Boy Smells. This is a new brand to Sephora, and they had a discovery set that is a 5-piece discovery set from Boy Smells, and I was like, let me buy this and let me try it out. The discovery set was actually not that super expensive. These do fall out, so there are 4 different samples in here, and I've actually used these quite a bit. I've had this around for like a week and a half, but I feel like I have gathered my thoughts about how I feel about them. I thought that my favorite was going to be the one that is called Hinoki Phantom, but I think that this smells like violet, but in almost like a smoky, burnt, licorice violet wood. And I don't think that those are the notes, but it's not my favorites. I don't love it as much as I thought I was gonna love it. And then I had big expectations on the marble fruit, but I don't love this one as much as I thought either. This one I do like though. This one is described as a sweet fruity scent, and yeah, I think that this one is a little bit too sweet for me. This is pear, nectarine, cinnamon, and pink pepper, but I don't think the pink pepper is helping as much here as it's doing in the other scent that I talked about. I think this is a nice fruity perfume, but I don't think it's as complex or as smart as the other one that I talked about. My favorite actually in this one is the, pronouncing this one, Fleur de la Virgin. Am I saying that correctly? I'm not 100. Take it for what it is. This is a citrus scent, and this has actually some floral in it, and I think the main reason why the florals are not bothering me so much in this one is that this is a scent where the top notes is all of the things that I love, all of the things that I really love. It is citrus, honey, fig leaves, lemon zest, saffron, and then we have some white flowers. I don't really care about that, but I don't feel like it's taking over the way that I felt like the white flowers was taking over that other scent. And then there's musk, ambrosia, and labdanum in the bottom. So there's just some, you know, some warmth in the bottom. But this one is just, I already have a scent on, so I really should not be. There's just a very potent freshness. It is just energy. This is an energetic perfume. It's just like, oh, ready to start the day. I'm ready to start the day, but the saffron and the honey is giving that little warmth, that little sweetness with the just very zesty scent. It's just very, it's almost like touching. It's almost like touching citrus. Is very zesty. It's very zesty in a very good way. And again, this is the one where I'm like, oh, because I will say, I think all of these scents, except the marble fruit, is pretty complex and interesting. And even though this is the one that really made me go like, oh, this is my favorite, I still think that these are well-made scents. But yeah, this one, I definitely need a full size. But then I want to end this video by giving you like a wish list, a small wish list. This 1 cent, it's very small. And this is because I was so intrigued by how these scents were put together, and because I felt like they were so interesting. There is a scent that is not available at Sephora, so I'm gonna have to try and find it somewhere else. And it's called Suede Pony from Boy Smells. And it is a woody, leather, fruity scent. That sounds very up my alley. And it is a pineapple, plum, saffron, cardamom, shut the front door, suede, violet, hazelnut, coconut water scent with woodsy notes, labdanum, and patchouli. I just really feel like this is everything I wanted in a scent but didn't know I wanted in a scent. So I really need to get some kind of a sample of this one, because I don't want to just be buying an expensive scent and then just hating it. But I just, yeah. That sounds really, really lovely. And if I find it, because that one wasn't available at Sephora, I will link it down below so you can have a go at it. But I'm really happy with the ones I've bought. I mean, Thunderstorm is literally this is my you know, the comforting blanket you give to kids. That's this one. If I if I need to calm down before I go to bed, I will literally use this one on my wrists so that I can smell the fresh rain when going to bed. It's just a comforting scent to me. And I will say the Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford, it's just my new sexy perfume. I just really love it, and I've had really good luck with trying some new in these discovery sets as well, even though not all of them have been favorites. I would love to hear if you have found some favorites as of late. Have you found something that you think that I would like? Like I said, I like fresh perfumes, but I don't like obviously white floral. I don't like those kind of perfumes. I don't like, you know, the white linen, fresh out of the laundry. I don't like those scents at all. I like something that's either very zesty or just like something that's like salt water, like Ellis Brooklyn Salt. I think it's a fresh but interesting scent. I did have a video where I was talking about some of my favorite unisex scents, and I will leave that video down below as well in case you want to see some more fragrance content from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments if you like this, because this is not the kind of video that usually gets views from me. So if you enjoyed it, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up and maybe leave a comment so that I know. Again, check the description box for more info, and I will see you again tomorrow for a new video. Bye!